Hi clarinet students. The first thing I noticed from our homework from earlier in the year was that a lot of you need to work on Jurassic Park at measure 30. And that's because it's that C sharp note there that we use with our pinky. So this video is only going to be working on the section right around the middle of the song, that 30 part, maybe a little bit of the 24 section. Because I think for most of us, that's what we need to work on the most to be able to play Jurassic Park all the way through. So I'm going to try to keep the camera where you can see my fingers. It's a little hard on my cell phone setup here, but I'll make sure you can see all my fingers. The first thing is if you haven't done the note C sharp with me, the way to remember it is very, very easy. At 30, you can see that there's a little, what looks like a number or a pound sign or a hashtag sign, and of course, we know that's called a sharp sign in music. We know that from music class. We know that from when we play the note F sharp. Well, this is just a different sharp note called C sharp. So the first thing you need to know is the first note after the rest at 30 is you're going to make a C first of all, and then to make it into a C sharp, you need to add your pinky with that left hand. Now, you don't want to be confused between any of these three pinky keys down here. Yours might look slightly different, but you can tell that the pinky key that we want to use is the one that's right underneath my ring finger here. So if I want to make sure that I don't push the wrong pinky key with my left hand, I usually keep my pinky actually touching my ring finger while I play. That way I don't accidentally spread them out and hit the wrong key down here. So first of all, why don't you go ahead and just put down 1, 2, 3, 4 of the front fingers and play a C sharp like this. Once that note's coming out, it's an easy note to blow. You're going to see that the note that comes after it is called B natural, and we know that B natural is middle finger on the bottom. So we need to do this little bit of a weird transition here where we go from C sharp to B natural. So I'm switching these two fingers. If you can master this movement right here, which isn't too bad, you'll be able to play this section at 30. So I'm going to start on a C sharp. I'm going to go like this. And I did it a few times, so go ahead and pause my video and play C sharp B, C sharp B quickly because they're eighth notes, and do that 3, 4, or 5 times. The next thing that you're going to need to know how to do and what to realize about the music is that the third note at measure 30 is actually another C sharp. I know it doesn't have the sharp sign right in front of the C this time, but something that's a little strange about music is that when you have the sharp symbol on the first C sharp of a measure, it also makes the rest of the measure C's sharp as well. So measure 30, put your finger on it, goes like this. Rest, C sharp, B natural, C sharp, low A, which we'll also talk about. So my second step is I'm going to go C sharp, B natural, back to C sharp. And here's how it's going to sound. Rest. I'm going to do it again. Rest. Rest. And I'm just practicing making that really nice and smooth several times. So pause the video again, play those 3 notes, make them nice and crisp, going back between those 3 notes. The next step is to add a low A. I know it's low A because there's 2 little tiny lines called ledger lines underneath the staff, and the A is on that second ledger line, not under that second ledger line, but on it. And when I see that, I know from band and from lessons that that's a 2-finger A, we call it. 2 fingers with the right bottom hand. So if I play measure 30 now, I start with my C sharp, B, C sharp, A. So here I go on measure 30 a few times to practice. Rest. Then I'm going to do it again. Rest. And I'll do it a third time to make sure I've got it. And once I feel really good about that and I'm going nice and quick like you just heard, then I'm ready to play the next 4 notes. And they're pretty easy, so I'm just going to add all 4 in. Here is measure 30 of Jurassic Park, and here's how this little bit should sound. Rest. So pause the video right now. Do your best to play those things. We're only playing those 2 measures. The next section starts off the same. Rest. C sharp, B, C sharp. And that's about as hard as it gets. So listen carefully. I'm going to start right where I just left off. I'm not starting right at 30, but I'm starting at the next rest C sharp. This is the 3rd measure of 30. Here I go. Rest. So if I go back to 30 and play everything that we've talked about so far, it should be like this. Rest. Rest. And the next note is that low G that I talked about. Low G, of course, you're all very good at reading this note. There's 2 little ledger lines under the staff, and G hangs right underneath that low ledger line. So I would like you to pause the video as you practice 30. Make sure you play all the way to 38. Don't just stop when you get to the half notes. You need to practice playing those bottom hand Gs there. The last thing I want to worry about is we don't want to just be good at 30. I've noticed that some people have trouble going from the 24 section to the 30 section. So if you count with your finger, I'm going to start 8 notes before 30. So count backwards 8 notes before 30. That means we're going to be starting on a low G. And I've heard almost every one of you play this. It sounds so great. So make sure you start on a big loud low G like this, 8 notes before 30. Rest. So the trickiest part is when I say rest, I gotta grab that C sharp as quick as possible. So I go rest, grab the C sharp, the pinky C sharp there. So if you practice this section the most, 8 notes before 30, and then play the whole section at 30, you're going to be fantastic on this piece. If you want to submit a video for me on our new Franklin or Roosevelt Band Class Dojo page, or just a picture of yourself playing this, that would be fantastic. Look out for more videos, especially for clarinet for you guys. Stay safe and have fun. Play your instrument this week. Bye-bye.